feel like they have been the ones who have worked really hard, and they are requiring that they're able to be spoiled. And I don't think it's anything wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that women work really hard and they can spoil themselves, and they just want to see that other indigenous men can spoil them. Now, it depends on their love language and also their chart too. We're going to bring it back to astrology. Some people who have dominant Leo, Libra, or Taurus placements, okay, they might be into, Leos are into gifts of showboating. They're, you know, the peacock energy. Like, I want you to show me that you love me, whether that is through gifts or sacrificing something or whatever. Taurus and Libra are ruled by the planet Venus, and so that deals with beauty. So a lot of times those placements, whether it's their sun, moon, rising, or their Venus or their Mars or their Lilith or their midheaven or their north node, they might feel like love comes through material things, through beautiful things. It could be through pieces of art. It can be through even vintage things. It could be through jewelry, purses, those types of things. They have that energy. And a little bit of Cancers too, because Cancers like to switch up their style and stuff like that. And maybe even Gemini placements as well, because they like to switch up their style. So things with fashion, purses, shoes, bags, and stuff like that. So, you know, that might be their love language, but on like a soul level, I can only speak for me. I can say that I care about integrity and fortitude.
Integrity and fortitude.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's important I ask you this question, because fortitude and integrity will do what you were saying. It will end up magnetizing to you all that you wish for. Integrity is a massive thing.
Come on.
But yet you can have a man who's financially well established, and for people, there's people putting in the chat and stuff like both and stuff like that. We got to take deeper looks at this, because those are saying, nah, he got to be financially well established because I got to be comfortable and secure and stuff like that. We have to know this is how we buy into tropes and programs that haven't worked for us. Like, say, for example, everybody hated on Kevin Samuels, right? That passed. And he's based on that. So women is like, why do men treat us like, but he's like, yo, we got 6 figures. We can treat you like poo-poo. What it do? What you coming to the table with? Because I'm financially well established. I'm financially well established. So you can have a financially well established man who will sell his soul, sell you out, no integrity, none of that stuff, and still destroy your village or your family. Or you would never have a family, or you live in chaos. Where a man with integrity and fortitude can one day establish, you know, financial wellness, and y'all could do it together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what's been taken from us. We got to see a lot of these, what we're buying into. We have to be careful who's dictating the lane.
But
very, very, go ahead, Lucian.
I want to say, so people who identify with the Kevin Samuels, like, I got money, so I can treat you poorly because, you know, I can afford you this lifestyle. What was that? You rather go cry in a Beamer or a Honda or whatever that thing was that was going around. But do you feel like it is because indigenous men finally feel good to have something? So they're learning how to, they're falling into valuing themselves, but it's turning into like an egotistical thing where it's like, now you kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like, you calling yourself a high value man, but
see, that's what I mean. With nothing in my pocket, I'm a high value man.
Come on.
Why? Because first and foremost, I know I'm God. I'm God. God is manifest here at this very moment. So I would never be. Someone just said true, but we can't be broke. When we know we know we divine beings, there is no being broke.
Come on.
I'm never broke. So I'm going to magnetize wealth to me at every moment.
Now watch the words that you speak, because that's so much. If you thinking that and you speaking that out loud, you casting spells on yourself.
Yeah, it's never are you broke. So that's the key. This, what I see that can be kind of like and kind of with these men that say I'm high value man, now that I'm able to get the 6 figures and this, that, whatsoever, is they may not, that may not be lasting. Or let's see, I'm gonna use this word. I watched the fuck boys who probably never could get girls. They never, the ones out here giving this alpha, red pill, blue pill information is laughable to me. Like on YouTube, got the videos. They probably never could get with girls. They
Mm-hmm.
probably, you know what I'm saying? But now they're giving people, because they came into a little bit of dough, now they're giving people information on how to interface with women.
Mm.
When the clearest and the best way to be able to interface with women of any kind is to have a clear and precise and beautiful conversation with yourself as a man, to know yourself and stand on your truth and
Mm-hmm.
stand on who you are and channel through what you're supposed to bring here. I want, you know what I want to tap into, because I don't want to forget about this. The ancients, speaking about the astrology, which you are so phenomenal at, and I want to thank you for that. And fellas that's up in here, jump up in her class, the astrology for men's class, because the sister knows what she's doing. She's on point, okay? Should I say that?
Thank you.
Astrology is important because in the ancients we said we used to chart our children from birth.
Mm.
You know, I can see this thing right here will be something he'll have to master or work on. Oh, he brings this gift back. So therefore we will put him in this area so that he can fortify himself in this lane as a builder, as an architect,
Mm.
as a mathematician. Oh, he loves the arts. Da, da,
Mm-hmm.
da, da, da. We didn't use it also as a cage to say, this is your life, this is all it'll be. So I had kind of like this, I was taken back and I had to listen deeper when you said, you know, it's kind of like the Bible to our walk,
Mm-hmm.
because I know it's our infinite souls that we are, and with our choices, we can master lower nature things.
That's a fact.
We can look at something, and the fact that I can see it, and I have studied myself for so many years, I can master this thing that my chart says I'm gonna have a problem with this.
Mm-hmm.
I can actually master it. So I'm not stuck to, like people say, oh, because I'm a Taurus, I'm like this, I'm stubborn. Or because I'm
Exactly.
a Leo, I gotta be the boss, this, that, whatever. You could transcend all of that and become cosmic being.
Mm-hmm.
But first you must know what you're dealing with yourself. If you don't know, then you're not even able to do the transcension work.
Mm. That's what astrology is. It's overcoming your lower self to be
Facts.
higher self. It's not to make excuses for poor behavior. I say that
Absolutely.
all of the time. And I saw somebody in the chat that said there's a lot of Leos in here and we're not all materialistic. I didn't say that all
She
Leos
didn't
were
say that.
materialistic. I was saying that Leos can be flamboyant in the sense of wanting to, because you're ruled by the heart chakra. So, you know, Leos can be very like, I just want to give to my lover, like whatever they want. If they're into tarot, if they're into whatever, I want to be able to give that to that person. And in return, they might want the same. And sometimes that could be quality time. That does not necessarily mean material things. I just mean that they like a flamboyant display of love.
Can I
That's,
veg you back? Can I veg you back on you real quick?
I
I
love
have
that
a
you're saying veggie back.
I have a king man. I have a king man, king god,
Mm-hmm.
friend of mine in here right now. He's really close to me. His name is Mecha Godzilla. He always likes to say that I helped free him from the Matrix 21 years ago. But he's in here right now. He's a Leo.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most one of the most powerful beings that I've come across in terms of feeding life into others, in terms of
Mm-hmm.
activating that heart chakra and
Mm-hmm.
activating the spine. Everybody I know that is around him, he's feeding and lifting. He's never about, yo, it's about me, put me on height, da, da, da. But yet it's people out there, whether they're on stage, they're doing whatever they're doing in their life, in the music, in the arts, or whatever, that he's been behind, feeding
Mm-hmm.
life to,
Mm-hmm.
like showing them the way, like pointing out things to them, like supporting their movements, not having to be in the limelight. And
Yeah.
this is a Leo,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But so definitely, I know you wasn't saying that all men is
No,
definitely that way. He's the embodiment of the what I would call the modest Leo.
I love
Some
that
people like to
because
use humble, but I don't like using the word humble, meaning lowly.
Leos are ruled by the
Yeah.
sun. And so it doesn't
Yes.
necessarily mean in the limelight, but being illuminated for something that they're really good at. So even if that
Absolutely.
is helping somebody behind the scenes, and Leos are also ruled by the sun card in tarot, which is the inner child. So
Yes.
if he is dealing with people who need encouragement on being creative or being free or whatever, Leos are really good at that. That's a part of their heart chakra energy. I want to see you win. I can motivate you. That doesn't necessarily mean that I have to be in the spotlight. It's about being illuminated for something that you're really good at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I still have questions.
Come
This
on,
is
let's
so
go.
good.
Let's go. Let's go. You done got me cheated up in here. Come on.
Listen, this is so good.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you feel like men feel like their feelings are valid and appreciated when they express themselves to,
No.
no?
Most
Damn,
men,
but you
no.
didn't even let me finish.
I work with the brothers. I actually work with more sisters than brothers. But the brothers that I come across are brothers that's beginning to see. And it's important that I protect myself to work with brothers that see themselves
Mm-hmm.
enough that they can work next to me. Because a brother that doesn't see themselves enough, they're intimidated by my energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, cause they may not understand how I could have gotten here, or they've been taught by the Eurocentric programming, which is you dominate another man to be the better man. You
Mm.
see? So the men I normally work with are men that's beginning to see themselves in the ways that they have to grow. So most of the language is people don't care about what I think, so I don't say nothing at all.
Ah.
I just need to go out here and I just need to make things happen. I need to go out here and just make money because then maybe I'll be seen. And they're at that spot where they know something's not right with just that at all.
Yeah.
You know, so the work begins. But no, to answer your question, that's an emphatic no. A lot of them feel that their feelings is not valid. My feelings is not valid. That's what they feel. You know,
Feminine energy that is in the chat. Do y'all hear that? Do you receive that? That to me is that breaks my heart that y'all don't feel like y'all's emotions are being validated or appreciated. I can be transparent and say that in previous relationships that I didn't always validate and honor, my counterparts' feelings as well. Because I didn't know. I
yeah,
wasn't into the
yeah.
consciousness that I'm into now.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
yeah, like I really mainly wanted to have this conversation because I want both energies to hear from both perspectives. Because what I'm seeing on my timeline is masculine and feminine just going back and forth, bashing each other, tearing each other down. And I know that it's only because, like I said, we're switching back into that energy where the feminine had to experience the masculine side and vice versa. But just hearing it from a softer approach, we can communicate without bashing each other.
Absolutely.
That should make you feel a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are our protectors. These are, our other parts. And they're basically saying, like, damn, I don't feel appreciated when I express myself. Then you can't be mad when a man emotionally detaches from you because he does not feel safe. So that's the other question that I was going to ask is, do you feel like in your life and with the collective that women have made a safe space for you to be able to express yourself? Or have you ever been called weak or sensitive or clingy or obsessive or, any other negative terms because you were expressing your love? Or, I like to say, like, some men who are clingy, you might have the real root of it is you have abandonment issues, and you can see that in your astrology chart. You might have, issues with women. It starts with a mother wound. Or to me, when parents have their children, if they're not healed themselves, whatever they suppress comes out through their child.
That's a
So
fact.
you, let's say, for example, and this is going to be, I don't even know if I want to use this example, but like, um let's say that your father dealt with like terrible anxiety, and I don't know, it was crippling anxiety, and then your son comes out and he has anxiety or OCD or something like that, and you're trying to be hard on your son, like, ain't nobody got time for your feelings, you got to go to work, you got to go to school. Then your son is lashing out, and then he gets in a relationship and he has all of this anger. You know what I'm saying? So like when the woman or his partner is trying to express something, he's tripping, and it's like, you're being too emotional, you're being this, you're being that. That is a deeper wound, it's a deeper
Yeah,
conversation. So as
absolutely.
women, being the spiritual energy, can we permit a space where we're able to like get to the root? It's not you being weak, it's not you babying, it's not you being his mother. It's like, where does this come from? Because I truly and I genuinely do care for you. And is he going to be open to expressing that? So I know I just said a lot, but do you feel like in your own personal life that women have made a safe space for you to be able to express yourself? And do you feel collectively that men feel that way?
Me first, um, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
My walk being very different. And I want to go back to some of the original, like when you first asked the question. I would say so because I made demand of it
Mm-hmm.
because of who I am.
Mm.
Very early, I recognized very early that I was a high level cosmic being.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that,
Can you
when
tell us your big three?
my big three,
Mm-hmm.
Sun in Taurus, rising Gemini, Moon in Virgo.
Okay. We just got to put that out there.
Yeah. Okay. So um, what I noticed is when I enter into all relationships, not just with women, I'm the giver, the giver, the giver,
Mm-hmm.
the giver. That didn't come from the most beneficent place.
Mm.
Abandoned by my mother, your source guide at 5 years old to
Wow.
crack. So I raised myself from 5 to 11.
Wow.
I didn't think anything was wrong with that or bad. I took myself to school. I got skipped from the first grade to third grade, third grade to fifth grade, all of that. Back and forth until my pops decided to come get custody of me, like at 11 years old, right? Where my grandmother showed me a certain kind of love. The beautiful duality that was created, though, I was able to see. And it's not duplicity, which is cross, but duality, where I can see, even though this might have hurt me, it taught me to not take relationships for granted, let's say. Let's say I can go into a situation, I say, I must bring worth to every relationship I'm in. So I normally enter a relationship gifting, gifting, gifting. So when now I'm dealing with a female or a
Mm-hmm.
woman, because of what I've already put in, she normally holds space for me.
Mm.
Okay, because it's like, wow, he's given, he gives so much. Like I didn't even know. Beloved, I just learned recently how come on now. I just learned recently how to ask for what I want in terms of like partnership or from a woman. No, I come in a relationship doing. I'm gonna give. I'm gonna give. I'm gonna give. I'm gonna give. I ain't even got no time to be, can you do this for me? That's important.
Mm-hmm.
Just to honor my human. I could be alien all I want, but while I'm here in this flesh, this things I need to be able to say, hey, I need this for me.
Mm.
Okay. And I just learned that recently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's why women have created that beautiful space for me to be able to share. Okay. Now, most men, no.
Mm.
I've known them to run to the side chick, like you said, and
Mm-hmm.
then have that be the counselor as well, who they're seeing her like a counselor.
Mm-hmm.
You see the counselor once a week or once a month, the side chick, I'm going to see, I'm going to dump on her, I'm going to tell her all this stuff, even if I'm causing confusion in her world.
Yeah.
She's going to be my counselor, and that's me the one I dump into, but I'm not going to invest in her.
Mm.
And then my other girl over here, who I think I'm investing in, I'm tearing that whole thing apart. I'm tearing her apart psychically, and I'm making our foundation weak over here because I'm not giving her my truest me of what's going on inside of me and everything else.
Yeah.
Because I don't even think she's going to receive it. I think she's going to look down upon me. I think she's going to see me as weak. I need to come off glowing in her eyes so that she stays with me. I might lose her. So it's all of those fear aspects going on as well.
Mm. That was beautifully articulated. I will say also with you being a Taurus, because that is ruled by Venus, that you have a very strong connection to feminine energy and beautiful women at that.
Venus and
So,
Cancer. Venus and
yeah,
Cancer.
right. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Venus and Cancer too. So you have a very strong relationship with the maternal energy as well. So it could be very easy for you to create an opportunity for women to hold space. But for other men who have different signs that are not Taurus, um, that could be difficult. That could be difficult for, somebody who is, Scorpio, Capricorn, Gemini, Aquarius, because it's hard for them to articulate their needs and their wants, and also having a lot of fear. Like, let's get to the bottom of that. Like,
Yes.
you
I'm
have
about
fear.
excavation. I'm about the excavation.
Listen,
We gotta
because
get,
you
yep.
have fear of
Mm-hmm.
rejection. That's what it really
Mm-hmm.
comes down to.
Yep.
Because I can say for me personally, if a man comes to sit with me and he tells me, you know what I'm saying, like, and we gonna say that he know his chart, okay? He sit down with me and he tell me, listen, I like you, I connect with your energy. My Venus is in Gemini though, okay? So I have a strong need for, multiples, whether it be me wanting to have sex with multiple people or me wanting to just intellectually connect with multiple women. And let's say his son is in Taurus as well, so he has beautiful friends. Let me put this out on the table because I want to see, is this something that you are okay with dealing with? Is this something that you want to try? Like, I feel like if these real conversations were to happen, then a lot of things could be avoided. But people put on these masks and they put their best foot forward and what they think the other person wants to hear versus just being honest about who you are. And if the person that you're being honest with reacts in a very harsh way, then it's like, this ain't for you. Like, let's not waste time. Don't think that you're going to come into this trying to change who I am. I'm telling you who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, and have confidence in that. Then I think that a lot of, trauma bonding and just toxic stuff wouldn't happen.
Can I add on to that?
Yeah.
Because as you know, I counsel and I coach couples, poly groups, couples, all of that.
I love that.
Can I tell you something that I've come across?
Tell me something.
Women who are sure about themselves,
Mm-hmm.
centered in their power,
Mm-hmm.
know what they bring to the table. When they have a counterpart who they are completely engaged with, recognize them,
Mm-hmm.
know that we're meant to be, they handle that with ease.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Okay. Let's see how that works.
Yeah, let's
It's
try.
not it's not even the blowback like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Let me do the same thing. You
Mm-hmm.
can't no. Now that blowback I've seen with let me do the same thing. What you talking about? And he's not no longer comfortable. That comes from normally the partner or the woman that is using her partner to fully validate her. There's
Mm.
also a program there that says you're less of a woman if it's not only you.
Mm-hmm.
You're less of a woman if he looks at somebody else.
Does that go both ways?
No, no, it's not the same. And when people are not gaming out here
Yeah.
when they say a man, you could come out, you could roll over in the bed and you find me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like I'm like, yeah, let's go. What it do? It's morning time? Morning. No, I'm saying that's real about men when we are invested in someone. When we invest the things that women do, I heard women say, women do all the things they do for other women.
Mm-hmm.
I'm seeing that. Because a lot of brothers is like, man, that's my girl. And if a man is invested in her, he love her, she could have been all over the streets
Mm-hmm.
one day. That's his woman.
Yeah, that's what
He's
Kevin Gates
invested in her.
said.
It's a thing about, yeah, did he say that? I didn't
Mm-hmm.
remember, but yeah, that's real talk.
He
I'm
was like,
talking
I
about
don't
speaking
care
to
how
me.
many people you've been with. If you was selling it or whatever, that's me.
Now engaging with me now,
Mm-hmm.
that may have to shift in regards to if you just throwing yourself out there. And
Facts.
because I don't know the energy you bring it back to me. And I know I have to be careful of what I have in my circle, in my aura.
Mm-hmm.
But I I see the big difference. Women is they think I need to keep this certain fingernail polish on my fingernail, my toenails, my fingernails, my hair done. This that whatever. The dude don't care.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
does not care the most. And if he's wanted, and he kind of funny if he does care. Like it's like something else going on with that guy over there. I don't know about his energy. Meaning
Right.
like it's other things going on there. But that's what I've noticed in consistency in my years of work. That men is not invested in that as much as the woman is, and especially dealing with that woman that I'm saying that is what he does is validating her worth.
Mm.
Excuse me. Yeah, pardon me. Yeah.
So what if a woman, okay, because let's get into the other side of this because we never talk about this. So it's always, you know, if a man comes to you and says, you know, I might want to be into multiple partners or whatever. Now, astrologically wise, the women who might be into being able to disperse their energy equally between multiple partners could be Cancer signs, Sagittarius, Libra.
Sagittarius, boy. Woo, I know. Yes.
Yeah.
They sure can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Libra,
Yeah. hmm
Virgo, Gemini. So let's say that they have these heavy placements in their chart and they sit down with a man and they say, listen, I like you and I connect with you on a very personal level, but you know, I have a need or I have other partners that are over here because let's be real, women first of all, women can disperse their energy equally between multiple partners because they love their children and they treat their children equally. There's, you know, most of the times no favorites most of the time.
Yeah.
So, if a woman came to you and said that and she was honest about who she was and she's like, I can hold space for you, I can still make you feel special, you wouldn't even know that there is a difference. How would you react to that? Because I feel like that's the reason why there's so much pushback when it's like, oh, the man want to be polygamous and he want to have this and that, what about me? But maybe they're not articulating it the right way. Don't just say that because he's doing it so now you want to be spiteful and do it back. What if there are women that are just naturally built like that based off of their chart too? Like they just built like, I have a man over here where I have an intellectual bond with him. We don't have sex, but this is somebody that I could go to and I vent to, and he might be an attractive man, he might have money, but this is somebody I could vent to. Or I have this guy over here who makes me feel safe. When some shit go down, I know he got the, you know, the glizzy. Like I know I could call on him. He got me. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I have this person over here where that's my womb choice. Like I
Now,
feel
do
safe
you,
in between my
question,
relationships. Hmm?
do you want my answer about how I approach that, or do you want to know
Yeah,
what I've come across?
both.
Okay, so what I've come across is very powerful, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What do they bring into your world? Okay. Is he helping along in your mission?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They're now looking at how are you to my mission? How are you adding? What are you bringing to me? You know what? We should continue to rock because you help fortify me and you pour into me like this. We can make sure that continues.
Right.
Okay. Now, a man who is completely on some, you mine, and my manhood depends on the fact that you only have me and me alone and me.
Mm.
Totally different. I now bringing it personal.
Okay.
My life, I have had a life where I was polygamous,
Mm-hmm.
meaning not polyamory.
Explain the difference between
Okay,
polyamory and polygamy.
polyamory we all have the ability to do because that's the ability to love more than one person.
Mm-hmm.
We all have done it. Have a boyfriend to the next boyfriend, to the girlfriend to the next girlfriend. So polyamory, otherwise we choose our one and that'll be it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So polyamory is the ability also to love many people at once at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, so that's having your multiple partners, whether they be male or female. If you're a male, I mean a female or a male. It's so many different dynamics to it. Polygamy means I choose you, and possibly you and you,
Yeah.
and I'm livicated to y'all. I'm livicated to y'all. My life is about what we do as a family.
Okay.
Meaning, I don't on Wednesday night. I think I'm gonna go slide up with this other chick on the side because we open, right? No, it's
Mm.
not. It's not open.
There's a format.
It's a format.
Mm-hmm.
And that format is I have, my family, and we're building on this. And this predates way before Islam, or Sunni Islam, Shiite Islam, any of the Islamic doctrines. Any this predates way before any religiosity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's very different because it's supposed to support the nation building.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's been also messed around with. Again, these planetary freshmen putting a whole lot of fuckery in there as well. So yeah. So me, I haven't been posed with that, but you made me go inside and think about it. And like I said, let me let you read that. But what I've come across with building with the powerful men, it is, I would approach it the same way. What is it that we're supposed to do together? Do we do this best together? I'm not throwing this away.
Mm-hmm.
You pour into me. We pour into each other well.
Mm-hmm.
It's mega. We just spark something with each other. There's no way that I'm not going to afford myself something and not be willing to afford you something as well. Because I know we all are connected to different people for different reasons. It's just that some people get stuck in the attraction thing and think that means they need to get a woo up to the person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because you're attracted to them don't mean it's time to jump into bed. It's like, find out what y'all are meant to do together. You know, there's something that this person's going to activate in you.
Yeah.
You know, and vice versa. So find out what that is. So I loved how you broke it down or how you displayed it, because you were saying how, yeah, this person is so intelligent, they bring this into my world, they bring that into my world, and this other person is gully. If I need to get the steel, he can get it popping. And this person, that stuff is very important.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all a part of village work. This is all a part of village work. And when ego is not leading and spirit is leading, it works. Believe that. When ego is not leading, it works.
Okay.
Yeah, most definitely.
Do you feel like men emotionally cheat?
Emotionally cheat. Oh, wow. Men emotionally cheat. I guess, would you call emotionally cheating when they go to the girl on the side and then she's his counselor? The
I guess
side chick?
so, yeah.
Yeah, so
But did
yeah.
it start
And
off that way? Did it start
yeah,
off that way? Because if it's like they started off being physical and sexual and then she becomes his counselor, then it's like, no. But if
I
did
think,
it
but if
start
you
off,
say if your men emotionally cheat, then that's just emotionally cheating, period.
yeah.
Because he's actually affording the deeper part of himself to the side chick that he's not even giving to his mate, or
Mm,
who he's calling his mate. So he is cheating her himself and her. There's no
okay.
way to grow. There's no way to grow. He's not being
Mm,
clear with himself. He's not sure with himself. You know, so yeah.
okay.
But emotionally cheat. Hold on. We're not doing emotional cheating with many. You hear what I mean when I say
Okay.
that?
Yeah.
So a man can, let's say it's a man like, a man may have a bunch of different women that he has sex with,
Mm-hmm.
but it may be only one of them that he actually is, even opens up the space for him to go in emotionally, about emotional things with.
Mm-hmm.
So that may be that one that he's emotionally cheating on his woman with. But it's not like all of them.
Yeah.
We just don't. From what I see, there's not time for that. Now, before we leave that thing about the poly thing, one of the greatest and the best relationships that I counsel, build with them, and connect on is polyandrous.
Mm.
It's a woman and
Yeah.
she has two husbands.
Yes. Okay.
They both lived they lived with me at once. They birthed babies. They birthed the baby in my house. Right when I birthed the baby in my house, they came to live with me at one point in time. I seen a super functional family. She was a Taurian, powerful sister.
Mm-hmm.
I may look at her like my mates at the time looked at me and was like, damn, we need to get her out the house because she making us look bad, because she ran the business, ran the magazine, was the main caretaker, the main teacher of the children, birthed their own children. Like, I'm all up on my woman when we're birthing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm catching, she's seeing the birth through my eyes. I'm doing all the stuff. I'm doing everything. They
I
behind the
love
camera like, you do.
that.
They're like, baby, you're doing good. We got the camera adjusted, and she's in the tub by herself, like, yeah. Whoop, there's another one. They birthed 8 children.
Wow.
They got through her. Solid union. And like I said, she's not a game. Cooks, cleans, teaches the babies, runs the business, the main model in the family
Come on.
as well. Yeah, power.
Mm-hmm.
So it exists. So people talking about, that don't work and all that, that's nonsense. I
Mm-hmm.
see it work. And they got a culture, and they're not touched. And they're not touched by what's going on in this whole spectrum. Matter of fact, they just visited me from Texas, actually. They just came out here and we vibed the other day
Yeah.
at the Ethiopian restaurant. Good stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you, it's strong. You know what I mean? It's strong. It's strong. It's
Mm-hmm.
ways to do it. You got to make sure there's the soul matches is going on.
Huh.
You know?
That's interesting. Like I said,
Uh-oh,
I feel
I done
like
gave her ideas, y'all.
no, no, you didn't give me no ideas. Listen,
She
I already feel, me personally, like I said, that women are better at dispersing energy equally between multiple partners if that's something that they wanted to do. I feel like a lot of men that want to do poly relationships, they do it from, or they think they want to do it from an egotistical perspective. What they really want is an open relationship. They don't want a poly relationship. They want to be able to step out and be physical or whatever with another woman, but not really have the responsibility of caring for that other person emotionally. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay,
like,
can I bed you back right there
yeah.
before you go on?
Mm-hmm.
Most of them want an escape.
Okay. Yeah. Facts. Escapism.
Men, I'm the one that they call in to talk men out of polygamous relationships. Because by the time I'm done with them, they're like, yo, damn, I wanted a wife and I want affairs occasionally every now and then. Because what it takes to see to multiple women is major.
It's so
The,
much.
the discipline, the heart space, the expansionness of your heart as a man.
Yeah.
See, certain things I've been cultivating from youth. You know, like my heart expansion, the work, the pain.
Mm.
Like you said about going into pain,
Mm-hmm.
I'm the pain diver. I'm gonna go so deep into a pain and get where it came from, deep in from my lineage until, you got what I'm saying? To the
Yeah.
Godheads that was before me, all of that. You have to be willing to do that with no escapism before you can even think about
Mm.
creating a space in a housing space for multiple
Come
women.
on. Can we do a
See,
workshop together or what? Cause
let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. It's
like
time.
that, I think that like that needs to be something that needs to be illuminated for real. Cause I have ran into many men who, feel like polygamy is the way, and I get it. Oh, our ancestors, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm a pretty open-minded person when it comes to things. But when I get down to like the bottom of like, well, why? Why do you feel that you need to have multiple women? Or some men feel like, oh, I want to have children with
Buck
multiple.
2.0.
And I'm like, why do you feel like your seed needs to be, copied and pasted over and over?
Buck,
Have you
look,
done the work that you need to do? Or you
that's
out
Buck
here?
2.0. Buck 2.0. It's just now you got some consciousness. Some people call themselves aware and they still trying to do the buck thing. That's all.
That's what
When you
I'm
see
saying though. Like,
it
why do
takes
you
a lot.
feel like you need
Hmm?
to be doing that? Like, have you done that deep work that you need to do before copying and pasting yourself through multiple women and having multiple children out here? And do you have the energy, the time, like I said, to emotionally deal with the woman first, multiple women first? Because then when you have kids, it's only going to be that and so much more. That's a big
Absolutely.
responsibility. That is a selfless job to be somebody who has multiple women at one time. Financially, it's selfless. Emotionally, it's selfless. And that means that you had to do a lot of shadow work and sit with yourself
Absolutely.
for a minute
Absolutely.
before you're able to do that. So don't say that you want
Absolutely.
polygamy. Say you want an open relationship. You want
That's
to
what
be
you
able
want.
to vacation from
That's what
time
they
to
want.
time because you want to have sex with
That's
somebody
what
else.
you want.
Then that's cool. You know what I'm
Can I
saying?
get can I give a jewel
Yeah.
for men that's even interested in it that may see this? To be a polygamous man and to have multiple women, you must cultivate inside of yourself the ability to take responsibility for everything
Mm.
emotionally that happens in a relationship. Everything. That
Yeah.
means mistake. That means if something happens with your baby, with the woman, with this, you got to be able to see what can I do better.
Mm-hmm.
Not be in her face. Not you did this, da, 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 da,
Not
or you
saying
did
she
this, da, da, da.
nagging.
Nope. You got to be able to be like, I can do better.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Oh, I could have done this better. Oh, I'm going to activate this thing here. And it's not you. It's not. It doesn't mean you're weak. It doesn't mean nothing. We're doing what we do as men. We activate.
Mm-hmm.
Us men talking about women submitting to us or submission.
Ugh.
Like, yo, it happens. I don't like using the word, but you know what I'm saying. There's a surrendering when a woman has a man that's a certain way. It's a
Mm-hmm.
certain surrender. It just happens. It just
Yeah, it
happens.
does
You
naturally.
ain't fighting for it. She see you activating so much. It's just almost like, oh, but of course,
Naturally, it's
naturally,
organic. You don't even
it's
have to
organic.
ask for it. What are
Yes.
we having a conversation for? You make me feel safe to be vulnerable emotionally. You make me feel like you're leading me somewhere. Because that's the other thing. A lot of, I feel, masculine energy feels like they naturally are supposed to be the leaders. And it's like, where are you leading us
Where
to?
we going?
Yeah,
Like, where
like
you going?
what are we doing right now? Like
You
now
got
I
to be
feel like
more
I
than
gotta
just
step
to
into my
that paper,
masculine.
because that run out too. It got to be more like, I'm getting that paper. I'm leading us to that paper.
No,
That's gonna run out too. That's
yeah.
gonna shift. Yeah.
Nobody cares about
Yeah.
any of that.
Yeah. Do you have a higher goal to this? Are we building legacy? And how does that look? What do we, again, that word again, what do we fortify in?
How you feel about me? How are you supporting me emotionally? Because when you water the right woman and you make her feel good, she can multiply and make things really move,
And
shake for you.
hey, now
Women
we
are
talking.
ruled
Remember
by
we
the
was talking
moon,
about boosting?
huh?
Remember I was talking about how we're boosters.
Yeah.
Yes. You have the power to take what look, our seed, our light source, why men cannot be ejaculating all the time, why semen retention is important.
Mm.
It's literal sun force.
Oof.
We're sending sun force into you. We are sending not just extra genetic code information.
Mm-hmm.
We're sending the light spark. That's why when you see my babies, you're going, oh yeah, they have my light spark.
Yeah.
We're giving you the light spark to house and mold, birth the planet. Here we go. So because of that, it's extremely important that you're comfortable. I don't care what anybody says, the hardest of the hardest woman, when she's of child, she gets to a certain time, she's going to soften.
Yeah.
She's going to soften and want her protector.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Sadly enough, some of our sisters don't have that. They're being submitted to going to the place of death, like a hospital, to deliver their baby. They can't get to the softness to open up. So they're having to be cut open by a C-section. Stuff like this is happening because a lot is out of whack.
It
Right?
is. It's so many questions. Wow. This is a
Yo, we
great
need to do a
session.
podcast, yo.
I
We
know.
got to we
Because
got
I'm
it's so much
like,
to tap into. We got to podcast it up one time.
it is so many questions in here. I just
Mm-hmm.
seen, what about men who do this through the path of Islam, but are not maintaining their marriages? I believe much self-work has to be done before taking that on. One spouse is enough, laugh out loud.
Okay, so in you gotta understand. I think Tommy kills finger. I think someone in here said earlier about said something about it too, about it being in Islam. And of course, polygamy predated Islam by thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years.
Mm,
Um, Islam, I like what Tommy Killingsher said, because he said something about utilizing it for not protection, but he said for widows.
oh
That
yeah.
was big. That was big in Islam, because much like now, there were women alone due to, you know, incarceration, death, disease, things of that same thing that you could say indigenous men is dealing with now, being in prison, dying early, all
Mm,
kinds of cancers, all of that kind of stuff, right? So if we just say, hey, a man could take on multiple women due to it, so many women who need to be done for,
mm,
again, that's a certain kind of expanded heart man that's saying, I'm trying to do work
right.
for these multiple women. Beloved, I share with you, and I'll share with who's here with us right now,
Mm,
that I was alone much of the time during my polygamous relationship for 16 years,
wow.
because I was working.
Yeah.
I was working. I might have worked for myself, but I was building for us to make sure we was fortified here. It was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? What I just told you, I didn't get to the space of being able to ask for what I want from them. I said, hey, as long as you take care of my seeds, and they did a wonderful job of doing that, I'll make sure y'all don't have to worry about anything. But
Mm,
it's more to that as well.
yeah.
So speaking from the Islamic standpoint of what she just spoke, or they just spoke around, of in Islam, look at the times. In the times of Muhammad and dealing with the Quraysh, he was not only giving them law, because they was doing stuff like sodomizing children, doing all kind of wild stuff. It was
Wow.
just wild. When he came back to his tribe, the Quraysh, he needed to give them the Quran and said, hey, this is now Tawheed. This is what it's going to be, because y'all are living like beyond savagery. This is crazy.
Yeah.
So many of the men through war, famine, disease, incarceration, all of that stuff was stuck with having to, and I use the word stuck purposefully, taking care of multiple women. See, so this is now written in the book. So now we come nowadays, everybody trying to use it in their sect of Islam as well. They're right. They don't, if they hear, a lot of these men, they not tapped into that. They don't have the money. You know, like, that's why it's not about just money. It's something else. It's like you gotta have a certain kind of heart to maintain and be the foundation and be the core that say these women are going to be relying on, and I'm seeing to them constantly. That's all I'm doing, is making sure I'm seeing to them, and then they're going to also build me up and build we up.
Yeah.
That's a different conversation. A lot of times it goes to, can you afford it? Can you afford it? Can you afford it? But that afford is beyond money.
It's beyond
It's beyond money. Yes. It's heart expansion. It's cultivation. It's the pain work. It's the shadow work.
Mm.
The reason why I was even able to do it was my level and depths of shadow work, the amount of pain work I was able to do, the heart expansion, and the fact that it was given to me. It
Yeah.
was something I couldn't put together myself. Like, I didn't go out here canvassing. I noticed the other brothers who I know who've been able to act, that's been in polygamous situations, were brothers where it was placed in their lap. They wasn't
Yeah.
out here canvassing like, yo, I'm looking for a wife. I'm looking for a hand. You know, it's like, bro, you don't know. It's different. It's a different world. You know,
You
so
said that perfectly. Don't be out here
nah,
canvassing for something like that.
nah,
Because
nah.
now, so my homegirl was telling me she was listening to a podcast where the host was asking women like what type of men they wanted, and a lot of the women were saying that they don't even want a conscious man anymore, because now they're associating every conscious man that they've encountered are
With
saying that
polygamy.
they want polygamy. So they're like, I don't even want that. And so the host was a guy, and he was like, honestly, polygamy is not for everybody, and you
It's
can't
not.
shame a woman and say, oh, you're insecure, you're not healed enough
Absolutely.
to want to have this type of relationship. And so he's like, some people ain't fit for it. Some people want to have their person. You know what I'm saying? Not every dude is fit to be polygamous either. Let's be real. Like,
That's a
you're not
fact.
being your true self. You are acting like something that you actually aren't. Because when you're in the position and shit gets hard and you dealing with two women that's going back to back at you, and not, let's not to say that the two women got an issue with you, but they got an issue with each
With
other.
each
How
other.
are you gonna deal with that? Now
That's
you
what it
have to be
is.
the leader and be able to deal with these two women going back and forth to center that love together. Are you really fit for
Absolutely.
that, or are
Are
you
you
just
fit for
down
that?
for the image?
Do you have the ma'at? Are you standing? Are you walking in the ma'at, in the
Mm-hmm.
righteousness? Even look, my queens, the empresses didn't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
They were from two different tribes.
Mm-hmm.
They were livicated to me. You see, that says a lot about my character, my
Mm.
being. Okay. Not saying that to bloviate myself. I'm just saying what you're saying. I'm veggie backing on what you're saying. It's
Right.
not about you. You have to get people that say, oh, I can do that, for one. Brothers taking their time trying to coerce somebody or talk somebody into something that it doesn't feel good inside of their body,
Right.
that's a problem within itself.
That's a fact.
Because there's somebody for everybody. There's somebody that can actually, it's not enduring it. They're
Mm.
not enduring it.
Boring.
They're like, oh, I want this for myself. I claim this for myself. Oh yeah, I want this too. There's people out there for that. You do that. Don't get somebody and look to conform them to something that you want because you like their ass. But
Mm.
this one's ass is real good, and I just gotta have her in relationship with me. I'm trying to tell you. Oh, this one right here, ooh, she fine. She got that bomb. Got that, so she gotta be one of my wives. It don't work like that. She
Or
may.
She got her shit together. She has a brand. She has a status. She can help me with this. That part. Because now you coming in and you're trying to change, you know, a woman to fit a narrative that you created. And we can't be characters in each other's metaverse here. Okay. This is what's happening right now.
The pouring is important.
Oh man. I see a lot of people saying that they want us to have a workshop together.
That's good. Let's get at it.
That
We
would
already
be
said we're gonna do work. You know, we just talk about that. We gonna do work. So
definitely.
let's get it. Let's not let it hang.
You
Let's
definitely
not let
just
that hang.
start that in Atlanta first, and then we can bring it to Texas
Mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Um, we've been on here for a while. I had a couple of other questions, but they're not too deep.
Sometimes the ones that don't seem too deep get the deepest.
That's a fact. Let me see. Okay, so let's take it down to the basics because I talked about t.djakes talking about, you know, women are now masculine. Do you feel like women in your practice, do you feel like women are more masculine right now? And not in a negative way, just like women have had to take on the role of masculinity. And if they are, how do you feel about that?
No, I don't. I don't feel women are more masculine. I feel women feel. I feel women are compensating.
Mm,
I feel women don't feel protected.
okay.
I feel women feel alone. I don't want to use the words like comforted or secure.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to use is they feel lonely less than alone. Lonely, which is different because lonely is they may not even be happy with each other with themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Alone, you can be alone. You're happy with yourself, happy with how you think, do your thing, and it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Lonely, there's a longing. There's
Mm-hmm.
a there's something else going on where it starts to eat away at you. You start feeling like you're not enough. You don't love yourself. It's very different.
Yeah.
So I feel they're lonely. I feel they're isolated, and I feel they fortress up. Somebody else could be looking at them saying, "Oh, they're masculine." Nah, she's just operating from her pain body, and she's trying to
Mm-hmm.
protect herself. She's vulnerable. She's still a vulnerable woman, and she's not being protected. And nobody's even saying I'm protecting you like that. So how? So when we navigate out here, I mean, when she's navigating out here, who's protecting her?
Mm.
She's going up against whole systems. If she's going to a gynecologist, she's seeing an inner enemy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a gynecologist. Yeah, you already know why. You know how that craft was started.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And ain't nothing funny,
Amen.
but ain't nothing funny about it. But everything is dealing with the patriarchy or the war on the woman's womb. Yo, of course she's gonna fortress herself up. I think it's a weaker man that would say she's being masculine rather than seeing, or let's say the uninitiated man, or the one that doesn't look deep enough to say that she's being masculine
Mm-hmm.
rather than seeing what the deeper issue is.
Right. That was well said. And if you're operating from your pain body, you're operating from survival, which is out of your reach.
Survival. Thank you.
So
Thank you. Simplifying it. Yeah.
yeah, so definitely
Survival.
I like how you put that. And I guess that goes into a deeper conversation of like, what is masculine? Like, what do you mean she's operating? Because the words that t.djakes used was nasty. What did he say? She's coming home bragging about her accomplishments. She's getting her car and basically just saying, I don't feel that there is a need for me to pour into you because you're doing everything for yourself. And I'm like, that
Yeah,
doesn't make any sense.
Earthbound Angel said women get called masculine for hanging up pictures. Yo, just understand something. These women are being called masculine by men who are not masculine enough.
Mm-hmm.
They're not masculine enough, who are not secure. Let me put it like that, who are insecure in their masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
They're insecure about how they show up. A lot of men don't even know how to show up as a man unless they have money. They totally withdraw. It totally would draw a period because I gotta have money, right? If I ain't got money, then I ain't got it together, right? I
You're
ain't got six
hiding.
figures. All of that. Yeah. Yeah.
You're hiding
I
behind your money.
yeah. You activate. I'm trying to tell you why I say it's a we thing. When a man is activated, women look. I'll take care of you. I'm like,
Listen,
yo, I know it.
because I am
Hey,
a
hey.
Virgo with a Cancer rising. So I naturally love to nurture anybody that I love.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about saying I will take care of you, but
Care of you,
like in whatever ways that you need me to show up, I'm going to do that for you. If you're
but it
watering.
is little that word care. It is.
Mm,
You will take care of them,
mm-hmm.
especially that you somebody that you choose. I always tell women,
Oh,
you only be with the man that you choose.
that you choose. Your
When
heart
you
and your
choose,
womb and your mind choose.
because everything changes. Everything changes.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way you respect them, the way you talk to them, the way you gift to them. You have to look up to them.
Mm-hmm.
You must see them in a certain way
A
for it
fact.
to last. Yes.
The
Mm-hmm.
respect. A lot of
Respect is
men have
everything.
an issue. They think, they can hide behind their money, their status, their whatever, and feel like, I earn respect. No, respect is
Nah.
earned. And it's just about, like I said, it's the way that you show up and you water that woman. Sometimes women don't need you to show up and take care of shit. It could just be like, damn, you see me. You heard what I said. You hug me. You love on me. You cooked me food. Or you thought about if I ate today. Like that means a lot. It's already hard out here.
I have something to ask you. I'm gonna make a statement and I want you to tell me what you feel from it.
Mm-hmm.
Women respect and men love.
Oh, oh, that's interesting.
Tell me what
I'm
you
like, yeah.
feel. I can tell you what I've seen through my walks of life and through my journey, but that's what I've seen. A lot of people like, but no women. No, it don't take away the love of a woman. But I've seen relationships fall apart when a woman no longer respects that man. It's
At
over.
all. And she will get in her masculine when she don't respect the man.
Now a man can can have a woman, like I say, she's a whore on the street. And
Mm,
I'm saying literally that's her job. And
mm-hmm,
because he loves her,
mm-hmm,
he looked like a fool for her.
mm-hmm.
Because he invested in her, he'll be like, yo, dudes will be like, yo, you know your girl out here. He'll be like, yo, but that's my girl though. Shut it down. That's
Wow.
we love when we invest, when we choose something to boost our energy into, whether you call it cosmic, past life, whatever. When a man
Yeah.
loves that woman, that's a different kind of it's different. But when a woman, yeah, she love you. Break that respect. When she no longer respects you, though, it's like, no, we're not gonna be able to do this no more. I'm not even gonna. Sometimes they're not able to vocalize it or verbalize it.
That goes into what I was
Mm-hmm.
saying about I feel like because we are women, we feel like, oh, we know how to love. We got to be the ones to teach all of the time, but sometimes we don't know what love is or how to love. The men do know how, but I think that we've just been kind of trained to be like, we know how to be soft, we in touch with our emotions. That doesn't mean all of the time that we do love. So I like that statement
Mm-hmm.
of women respect and men love. That's a
Mm-hmm.
fact. Because if I don't respect you anymore, to
It's
hell with
done. It's
you. Yeah.
nothing you can do. You could buy me house, car, boat. I'm gonna have something else going on. You don't know if you're an unintegral woman and don't and you're gonna have something else spinning at the same time, and he buying you all this stuff. So I
Listen.
wanted to keep the things, but I don't want to deal with them. Yes, that respect portion is
Ooh.
important. That respect portion is very important with y'all.
Wow.
Very, very important.
I
So
saw
y'all,
someone say, do you feel like women are nurturing at this time?
um, I feel like women have been coping with the best ways to nurture themselves
Yeah.
and learning this nurture thing all over again.
Yeah.
There's so much scrubbing that women have to do.
Yeah.
There's so much reprogramming.
So much.
So much reprogramming that has to be done. Like women are learning again what nurturing is. I say if I want to speak on a whole, if I could see the amount of women saying, I don't want no babies, I could say maybe women are less nurturing nowadays. Because
Mhm.
that I may look at that as a superpower. But I say that to some people, And they may be like, you believe a woman don't need to be barefoot in the house, having baby, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
nah, you'll do nothing greater on this. You won't do nothing, anything greater. I
Mm.
don't care what job you get. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care what you, Fortune 500. I don't care. You'll do nothing greater. There'll be nothing to take you to your limits, test you, empower you. And there'll be no greater asset than your child.
Wow.
Okay. But they taught women to believe, to function in that aspect of, and this don't, okay, I don't want to sound, this the way it's going to come out. It's going to sound bugged. It's going to sound like I'm kissing y'all ass or, but y'all deserve this. You know what
Yes,
I'm
we do.
saying?
We do.
Um, y'all are the table.
Okay.
Y'all are the table. Okay. So that this whole thing about y'all need to bring something to the table, they do. If you see yourself and your higher self and your divine self, the fact that this person can house and recreate your essence, your lineage, your genetic information, your light,
Mm.
you cannot do that alone. Actual facts, she's a table.
Mm.
Now, if she don't know it, that's a whole nother problem.
Yeah. It,
That's a whole nother problem if she don't know it. But you have to. I'm only going to be investing in boosting in somebody that knows it. You know, take it to the next level. This is what we're going to do. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. You know, there's a bit. I would say yes, less nurturing nowadays because many of them don't even want to have a baby.
yeah.
Many of
And
the and they've been shamed about it. That's why, like, that's all y'all could do. Again, from small men, planetary freshmen, pushing the ideology that women is secondary but necessary. The greatest evil on the, or the first evil on the planet, woman. All of these things perpetuated for years, got them not loving what they are. It's sad.
I think also I can say for me personally that when I think about, because I do want to be a mother, but I also feel like I had a fear about being a mom at one point because I'm like, I want to make sure that I'm healed and I healed my generational traumas and curses and I got my shadow work out of the way because I don't want that to go into my child. And so if I had to sacrifice not being a mother in this lifetime because I still need time to heal certain things about myself. But that's me on a whole nother like,
You'll know.
yeah,
You know what it is. Don't doubt yourself. And I don't think you are doubting yourself. But you know what you have to do. You know what you have to heal with stuff you got to do within, and that's.
that was before. I don't feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to be a mother,
Oh, okay.
but
Oh
before,
yeah, that was something you went through.
yeah,
That was a phase.
hmm definitely. I was like, there's so much stuff that I gotta, get through. Looking at my grandmother, my mother, dealing with all of that. Like I wanted to make sure that that was healed. So I'm like, if
Generational. You
yeah,
doing that curse breaking. You doing that curse breaking. I understand. I do not want this to touch mine. It stops with me.
yeah,
I get you. I
yeah.
get you. I
So
get you. But no, there are women that's 5 steps behind that.
yeah, y'all landed that. Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm trying to look at the comments too.
No, no, it's good, good.
Mm-hmm.
I know when I be streaming sometimes I don't look at the comments. I'm glad you paid to
Know
the
what? I've
comments.
barely been. This is the most like comments or yeah that I've ever gotten. Like it's nonstop. This is so beautiful. The energy,
You,
right?
you're
Nine.
doing a good work.
Damn, we've been on here since 8. It's 10.
Well, you know, my side is I'm an hour ahead. Yeah, this is it don't even feel like it. Like, you know, this is soul recognizing soul right here.
Yeah.
We could do this forever. But if you being held up, let me know. If you got something else to do, you want to transition, let me know. But I'm here. The evening is ours. If you got more questions, let's go. You know, you know, it's not. I'm not tripping. I'm not like, oh my God, I need another glass, another bottle of coconut water. You know,
Mm. I might have a question or two left. Okay. Do you feel like personally and collectively that women are defensive when you try to tell them about themselves or tell them how maybe you've been hurt or something went wrong. Do you feel like women have been receptive to that, or are they defensive?
Personally receptive.
Okay.
Like I expressed earlier that I give them a wealth of understanding first. I enter over understand you to the level that as much as I can
Mm-hmm.
about your walk, your pain. I'm not a woman, so I'm not trying to say, oh, I completely get it. I'm not going to shut them down. But letting them like laying out something enough where they feel comfortable, they feel heard, they feel seen, they feel supported, and they feel like it's coming from a divine masculine that's like for them, they're extremely receptive for me to say to them, which gets dangerous. I want to point this out. It's important, like, because being a coach or being a counselor, sometimes a woman feeling that from me, it will cause issues between her partnership because she listens to me more than she listens to her man because he hasn't learned to activate that yet. So
Mm-hmm.
the man is just like, yo, I don't like the fact you making his word God, and it's like, yo, I'm here for y'all.
Yeah.
So something like I may always do, like say in a session between a woman and her, with her woman and her man, and we come together. I let her know I'm for the brothers,
Mm-hmm.
and I let him hear it. Yes, I'm for a healing brother, but I say I'm for the brothers because we have no representation. We have nothing protecting us. The program set forth by these
I,
melanin recessives does not support us as well either. They would much rather y'all have certain things though that we don't have. But I say that, but I'm still for the union. That's just to help support him so he can be like, all right, this brother going hold
yeah.
space for me too. That kind of energy. But the woman, I most of the time have she can feel. Remember, a lot of things with y'all is going on without words.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all could feel like, oh, he gets it. And then y'all,
Yeah.
Now the collective, very different. Of course, a lot of men are learning how to hear their woman.
Yeah.
Even if that means taking themselves off the streets and putting themselves in the home with the woman to hurt with her.
Mm.
I have to hurt with her. I
Yeah.
have to be able to hold space and be there with her when she explains her hurt, when she shows her hurt, and me not run away, me not escape, me hold the space, me say me say I apologize, or please forgive me or forgive them, even if I didn't hurt you. I'm the representation of the male that has hurt you. That
Oh,
takes work.
that just did it for me. I'm sorry to interrupt you. That just did it for me. That is
Mm,
beautiful to say, I apologize, even if I wasn't the one who hurt you. I am a representative for that energy. That means
yeah.
a lot because I have shared on my platform that I have been abused. I was in an abusive relationship. And I think that in relationships after that, something that I heard a lot is I'm paying for sins that another person did to you before me. You need to go off and heal. And that made me feel very isolated and alone, and that hurt to hear that, because it's like, damn, you just kind of pushing me away. You know what I'm saying? Like, abuse is whether it's physical, mental, verbal, you dealing with a narcissist, a sociopath, or whatever, that is a very sensitive topic. And so, you want to tread light because you signed up to be with me. At the end of the day, I told you what I was coming from, and you,
Oh, because he wanted your source.
yeah.
He
And
wanted your source. He wanted your sauce and your source. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, it's like you're supposed to be here to placate to me, but
mhm,
don't know how to earn that.
yeah,
And that's earned by being in that space. That takes something. That takes, oh shoot, he's fully there for me. He's a pop. That the other thing is, why you punish me? I'm not that man.
yeah.
I'm not that man. But he's not even seeing what it takes to earn your space. You
Mm.
see? Peace. Brother Quasar came in. He came in at the end. We've been on here 2 hours burning it up. Say this up so my brother can hear
I,
it. He gonna say, yeah. Actually, the brother that just came in is the one who I said has fortified and put together a beautiful family. The beautiful family I told you about.
wow.
Yeah, he just actually just joined. He had just joined this live just now.
These
So
things,
yeah,
Earth
yeah.
Quasar.
Mm. Yeah, yes, yes. That's my brother. Beautiful soul, beautiful family.
Yes, I'd love to see the recording. Yeah, I'm gonna save it on my page. Maybe you can put it on your page too. I'm not sure.
Don't worry about it. We worry about all that later. But yes, as we was tapping into, that's that place.
Yeah, damn, that is beautiful, and that's the same on feminine energy too. Like I understand for the women before me who have hurt you. I still validate you. I hold space for that, and I want to help you to work through that because it's really just about communication style. Astrology helps with that as well. I know,
Absolutely.
and your Mars is in, okay? So you might feel like you have to exert dominance over your partner or over people. Okay, cool. That's how you feel. I can get into that submissive role, but we still need to talk. You know what I mean? Like we still need to be equal. You need to be heard and I need to be heard. Both of us need to be happy. So I feel like if we just tweak the way that we communicated with each other, there will be a higher success rate for really.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The holding space portion is a lot.
Definitely.
That holding that space and not internalizing it. Not internalizing it, making it about you, what you haven't fixed, what you haven't done.
Definitely.
Let me show up with you in your pain without trying to fix you.
I saw someone said, "What should we focus on?" Can you clarify what that means? Like, what should men focus on, or what should we focus on in general? Because if what I feel like men should focus on,
She about to tell him. Here from the divine womb. Hold on. She about to tell him.
listen. So I feel like men should continue to focus on their healing and focus on how to be open to expressing their emotions and connecting emotionally to their counterpart, and also healing if they have a mother or father wound or whatever. Like focus on that and articulate that, whether you're single or in a relationship or whatever. Talk about, your triggers to your partner so that they can understand like why you behave the way that you do. Focus on articulating your fears as well. Where does this fear come from? It's just really about communication right now. And don't be trying to, another thing that I'm feeling with, men is don't be trying to put a certain blueprint on thinking what one woman wants, all women want. Like
Mm,
understand and learn the partner that you're with. You might have been with a partner that was more materialistic, more about image, wanted to be more couples goals, but the person that you're with now is more spiritual, more intellectual, more, I want things to be sacred. I don't really want to be seen like that. We don't got to be out there. Like learn your partner and vice versa. Like women learn your partner as well. Like observe your partner, observe his needs, make him feel good. Tell him he fine, okay? Tell him he's smart. Give him,
yeah.
make him feel good. They need to hear that too. I mean, am I
Um,
like
yeah, but I'm gonna beg you back. I'm gonna beg you back real quick because you said something very in the beginning, very important when you said um focus. You feel men have to focus on. We have to focus on our healing, right?
mm-hmm,
Y'all are very much a part of that.
mm-hmm.
There is no separating y'all from that.
That's a fact.
So people like to say like you need to go over there and heal that and do that and heal that up. Blah, blah, blah. But actually, if you're reflecting me and you're standing in front of me, you're a part of that.
That's
I've drawn you to me, so now I have to search and see how do we do this together.
we're each other's reflection.
Yes. So that's the holding space portion. That's that portion where it's like, how do I not even being in your pain?
Mm-hmm,
How do I not try to change you in this moment? Nor even push you out of where you are right now, but house it with you. That takes a certain level, again, of heart expansion
mm-hmm,
that many people have not even held for themselves. Personally, most people are out here, escaping.
mm-hmm.
I'm not even trying to look at the problem. I'm not, that is happening. So to be able to do that with another is really scary.
Definitely.
You touching all kinds of wounds, touching all kinds of
Because
wounds.
that's being seen and being like, do you still accept me
Yes,
for what you see? This is,
yes,
mm,
yes.
mm-hmm.
You gotta get butt nougat. I call it butt nougat, butt naked. You gotta get butt naked to the
I
energetics.
picked it
To
up.
the, you know what I'm saying? You gotta get to the energetics. It's like, yo, I want to see it all. And see, that's the remember you saying. Do I feel that women were less were were a little bit hesitant in sharing? No, because that's the other part. Most again, men we in us doing our work to become the heart expansion work. The more women easily feel like I can talk to you and I can tell you this because I know you're not going to take advantage of me. They
Mm,
can feel your cleanliness. They can feel your pureness, your purity. They feel your intention. Then it becomes, ah,
yeah.
it changes.
Wow.
I'm going to share this with you because I feel like you won't take advantage of me. I feel like, it's because y'all are all feeling. Remember the unseen, the unheard. It's the words that you got to come out.
I would say too, this is on both ends.
Mhm.
Feeling safe to be vulnerable to share these parts and not letting it be used against you later on. And
Yes,
that's for men and women. That's
yes,
a scary thing to accept someone being vulnerable and saying that you're there and, oh, I understand. And then they do something that's unfavorable, and that's the first thing that you throw into their face.
yes.
Is a terrible, terrible feeling to feel where it's like, damn, you just used something that was very personal to me and you hurt
And
that.
yeah,
Now I,
and tell them what that looks like.
mm,
That could look like even if you think you're doing it in a healing or not holding somebody accountable or supporting way, you to be like, you're doing this to me and you're saying this to me because your daddy touched you.
wow.
Don't do this to me.
Yeah.
A man may not know how he just hit a bow,
Yeah.
just caught her the right cross, but he's like, I was just trying to say it. I was pointing it out, thinking she could help heal it faster if I said to her that, and it's like, nah, bro.
Yeah.
So Earthbound Angel just said something. We have to hold safe space for each other. That's how the safe space was disrupted. So even if he held a safe space before, to throw it back in her face like that,
Yeah.
she don't want to ever go back there again.
Ever.
I'm not even safe with you no more. Just even if you thought your intention, it might not have been your intention, but that was something that deep,
Yeah. Throw it.
and it's safe space is I love the words being thrown out nowadays like safe space and stuff like that. In those safe spaces is important because some of the most volatile actions and chaos is going to go on there. It's going to be a lot going on in that safe
Yeah.
space. It's not going to look pretty. Just like you said, y'all are the chaos space.
Yeah.
Y'all the infinite cosmos. Y'all being all of that. Y'all supposed we must create an environment whereby y'all can do all of that. Break down, flip out, and this other, and know that you're protected from the outside world that may not have your greatest. And,
Yeah.
we already know. It may not even have your the greatest of you know what I'm talking about. Greatest of intentions for you. Go out here in the world, don't may not have the best for you set up for you out there. So there needs to be a place where you can be the most vulnerable, the most exposed, and know that you're protected.
So, because you do relationship counseling, I also do relationship readings, y'all. So I'll be hearing. Um,
Yeah.
for somebody who has been in, for people who have been in a relationship for a really long time, and it's a lot of pain and a lot of trauma there, how do you think the first steps are to healing? Like, how can they remove the ego out of the relationship so that they can create a safe space? Like, what does that look like?
Well, there's never removing the ego
Okay.
because as long as you're in the body, you're gonna. It's what tells you, and it's a part of the brain that if that part of the brain was damaged, you would not know that you're separate from everything else. There's a part of the brain. Once you damage that part of the brain, is everything is I'm one with the all. You'll be. It's almost like you'll move like a vegetable,
Yeah.
thinking that you're connected to
Right.
everything. So it's necessary in terms of you channeling through what you are specifically, how you're specifically supposed to view the world. Like they say, the divine created itself in order to know itself.
Mm-hmm.
So you are a creation of the divine, so that you can be a different perspective to
Right.
reflect back to us the expansiveness of the divine. So you don't completely get rid of the ego, but I know the ego has to take the back seat or the side seat. Spirit has to lead.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the key.
Okay.
Like when you're not making it about, what's happening for you right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's important. What's happening for me right now? How am I being satiated at this moment? That a lot of people. That's a lot for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's a lot because it's just something you're constantly watching when you're sitting with somebody. When you're sitting with somebody, you're holding space for that person. You know, you have to watch yourself to make sure you have the capacity, the willingness, the endurance
Mm-hmm.
to say, I'm showing up for that person this time. Okay? Because different things happen. I can go way off to show you what happened. I know people that swap entities because their forces is down and they come home with something real nasty on them
Yeah.
from somebody they were sitting there talking to for so long and they wasn't vigilant. I don't mean from a negative stance of vigilance. I mean just fully present and able to receive and be there and be in a beautiful space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And be able to protect the whole situation, especially when someone is just unloading on you.
Yeah.
Is ego has to take a backseat. Personally, I've walked. I've walked a life whereby I want the ego taking a backseat because I don't lose ever. When spirit lead, it's like, hey, spirit's leading, I'm good. But when I let ego lead, I feel some of my greatest lessons.
Yeah.
So I'm like, some of my greatest lessons, I know I have to do it because, that's me here. Like, oh, okay, I had to do that. I had to feel that pain. I had to feel that pain because I wanted to learn this lesson right here,
Yeah.
even if it's after, after the fact. But I would say that about people sometimes fight with getting rid of the ego rather than properly honoring it
Mm-hmm.
and then giving it a job.
Mm.
So when I say that, and I'm pardon me for taking so long to get to this one point,
You're good.
but give the ego a job. It loves that. It loves attention like that.
Mm-hmm.
Give the ego a job. Tell it your job is to see when I'm doing this with yourself, and you can keep it occupied. Your job is to make sure I'm not over talking. Your job is to make sure that, you get me, to make sure I'm listening because this person is offering me something different perspective.
Listen.
Your job, and it'll be a great, especially if you have one of them egos of people that's tyrants.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Put it over yourself. Put it over yourself. It works wonders. It works wonders.
I think,
Give it work.
yeah,
Hmm?
listening more than talking
Mm-hmm.
and understanding your partner's background because some people come from a very harsh upbringing where their perception is distorted. And so they are perceiving reality in a really crazy way sometimes. And it's like, it's not personally towards you. It's just, that's a part of them needing to heal certain parts. And so being a part of that journey with them and not taking things so personal is
Absolutely.
a big thing. So I think that that can help couples who've been together for a while. And also just, let's have a safe word where I can be honest with you. And if I'm saying too much, say a word where we could slow down. But like, I need to be able to speak my truth and not be judged for it. Cause I tell all of my clients, you was not born with your partner. You wasn't born with nobody and you're not going to go with them either. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Don't try to make it like y'all's journeys is just like together forever. Like y'all chose each other. Relationships are optional. So, I still have to be my own individual at the end of the day. And I need you to respect my individuality. We're growing into different people. I talked about on all of my other lives, you have your progressed chart. The planets are growing with you. So while you were with your partner, y'all could have been signs that were compatible, and now y'all been together for over 10 years and y'all have grown into signs that are not compatible anymore. You have to leave room for growth between
Yes.
the two of you, and sometimes that might look like we just not compatible. It don't got to be ugly. It doesn't have to be a bad thing to say. I think it's time for our journey to go separate ways. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're different people. Or if y'all are going to stay together, we're experiencing life as completely new signs now. So how can we be adaptable and alchemize our energy together? We might be
Yes.
signs that are not compatible, but how can we alchemize this? Like, you could be a fire
Absolutely.
sign and they're a water sign. You might think that fire and water don't go together, but fire can boil water if you're alchemizing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just leaving room for growth basically is what I feel, because I feel like I run into a lot of relationship readings where it's like, oh, she don't understand, he don't understand. I just feel like I want to step out, da 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 da, and all this other stuff. And it's like the relationship is still salvageable.
Salvageable.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's
Hmm.
still there because y'all are still fighting to hold each other down or back or whatever for whatever reason. So either figure out if y'all can alchemize it or, you know, have the strength and the respect for each other's individual journeys to let each other go, you know?
I noticed that empowered women.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and thank you for that, for what you said, because what you said was potent. First, I want to address that, because thank you.
Thank you.
Um, I've noticed empowered women most of the time don't really want to spread themselves around. Like truly, they don't want to do. It's normally they're looking. Like healers look for protectors. We know
Mm-hmm.
protectors look for healers. You know, there's search that goes on too. But very extremely empowered women I've seen also, they're looking to be seen to a certain way and
Mm-hmm.
protected a certain way, where they don't want to spread energy a lot of times. If they are spreading energy, they're looking for a specific powerful man,
Yeah.
right? What I want to give something to men in all my years that I've seen, like up to this day, I think is really important. Being known as that masculine or that masculine counterpart, or let's say the divine masculine now showing up in a male form, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're known as the activators. You know, build with the muscle structure. I mean, not the strongest muscle in the body is the uterus. So
Oh,
I'm not talking about the strongest muscle in the body. I'm just saying the extra muscles in different places to be able to push the stone or this, that, whatsoever, blah, 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 blah. Okay. We're activators. I would like to say to men, which I think is very important, that when our women do achieve the space of feeling comfortable and safe and want to build with us and want to tell us their deeper pains, it's great for us never to speak it back to them, but to use our inner knowingness to cultivate it, to see how to assist in healing it with actions. That's like a woman letting you know that never had her daddy. Daddy abandoned her, touched her, this, that, whatsoever, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to ever say, remember how I said where he slapped her and didn't know it by saying, because your daddy did such and such, that's why it is, and I just don't want you to be da da da.
yeah.
He don't know how he slapped her.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of that, you chose that partner. Now it's time for you to honor her. Like run baths more often, cook for her, do this, do different things where because she didn't have a man's nurturing. So you
Oh,
could places, write her love notes, tell her how important she is to the world. But see, this also takes self work. Like, and granted, like I meet people, for example, I meet people and they be like, yo, not everybody perfect as you. And I'm like, fam, come on, bro. I'm here because I made a hell of a lot of mistakes,
yeah.
thousands of mistakes. I was that man. So I can speak to you from the some of the darkest spaces, you know. But that's what I want men to get. Get that. You don't ever have to speak it again. Step in your action base, step in your activity, and do the thing that you would know help heal along her path. If she's been able to express it to you, then she feels something in you as well as engaged enough
Yeah.
to be. So now that's part of the work that you do. That's why you say you want to be in partnership, and it's why many men cannot deal with 3, 4, 5 wives, because it's hard to do that with just one.
Be friends. Be friends with your lover. Respect your lover like they are your friend. Because
Actuals.
with very high regard, you know,
Yes.
we take friendships very seriously. So you got to think about your relationship like you're my friend too. You know, I value your friendship. So even if the love,
Absolutely.
like I still want to protect and honor you and your, you know, individuality and your independence as well. So I think that that's what's missing a lot too, is we just get into relationships and it's like this obsessive, like you're mine, you're my lover, but it's like y'all have to build a friendship first with each other. And if you build a friendship, then you really respect each other's journey also.
That's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Venus and
fact.
Aquarius, whoop, whoop.
Who's Venus in Aquarius?
I just seen Brother Lightheart.
Brother Lightheart? Yeah, Venus in Aquarius.
Venus and Aquarius is they have love to give to the community. It also depends on the house that your Venus sign is in as well. But yeah, it's an interesting placement. My Venus is in Scorpio. Let me tell y'all, Venus in Scorpio is all possessive and jealousy and all of that. And I definitely experienced that in my life to the point where I broke my own heart. And I was like, I need some respect.
Embrace jealousy. I be telling people, embrace jealousy.
Oh,
Don't run from it. Embrace it because it shows you something you got to work on. It shows you, okay, it shows you a place you feel weak. It's a place where you're judging yourself in. It's a place where you think you're not enough in that area. Whatever it is that you're jealous about,
nah,
something for you to take a look at.
my Venus
Embrace it.
is Leo. So that jealousy was like, yeah, this is my competition. I'm here for it. I'm on. Like, let's go. Let's go. I'm a win.
I'm a win. Win.
I'm a
No,
win. Hey, what are you talking about? I'm never going to lose. That's the way that I never gonna lose. What do you mean?
I feel you. I feel you.
My Venus is in Aquarius too. Focus on self in order to love others. The friendship to your other half connects, not disconnect. My Venus in Aquarius. Fact.
Venus and Scorpio hits different. I love me from Venus and Scorpios, though I ain't going even front. I ain't going front.
It's so.
You know.
I was listening when I first got into the love game. I was like, "What?" My love was like, "I want to consume you in my fire. Like I love you. Like what do you mean? Like you're mine." And more as time went on, like I said, I ended up breaking my own heart to the points where it was wide open. It's like now I love from a different space. I respect you. Um, I still want to have my person. There's still parts of you that I feel belong to me, but it's not in such a possessive way. I've changed
Mm,
my competitiveness in a different way because I broke my own heart. So,
mm,
you know,
mm, mm,
yeah.
mm. I got you.
And sign up for my men's astrology class.
Sign up for the men's astrology class, y'all. Sisters tight with the info.
What your
Even women sign up for it too. So women understand men better.
right?
What
What
you were saying?
mine is. I am gonna have I'm gonna be teaching. I'm looking for a space to teach tarot classes in person. And then I am gonna do a women's astrology class too, but I really wanted to cater to the
To
masculine
the men,
because y'all
we
don't get
appreciate you.
love in the medical.
We don't get that love.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, we don't get that love. We'd have forgotten too now.
yeah,
Believe me, we'd have forgotten. I'm trying to tell y'all.
definitely.
Like we don't get the perks. We don't get the perks that people think we get the perk that the melanin recessive man gets.
Yeah.
Nah, a lot of it's one thing like you asked to are women less nurturing
Mm-hmm,
or not as nurturing now.
mm-hmm.
What I've noticed is us indigenous men is getting clumped into the war with men that we don't that we actually working on something completely different.
Yeah,
But we getting clumped in. And some of us that are major advocates and powerful energies working in behalf of women. And sometimes we have to interface with women who want to attack us. Like we are part of the program that's been out to, you know,
yeah,
commit war on the woman's womb.
yeah,
And some of us we ain't that. We ain't him. You know what I'm saying? So, but normally, we can switch that around immediately. It don't last. I'm just saying, I see those. It could be, you trigger something just by something you say.
yeah.
And then it may sometimes be somebody else that comes be like, oh no, sister. I know he might have triggered you, but this brother right here, he for us. Like you don't
Yeah.
know. And so it's good to have community in that way.
Yeah.
Were you about to say something?
No, I wasn't. I was just agreeing. I was listening. This has been so beautiful.
This is great. You put that great work in.
Yeah. We'll have to
Because
like a part two to this because we hit so many points and there were a lot of questions that I didn't get to. So I feel like I don't know, maybe we can make this like a series. Like I'm just saying, like maybe it's a week
yeah,
where we can have people, chime in and say what they want us to talk about because the energy is pretty amazing between
let's do it.
the two of us. So how you feel?
I love it. Let's get it going. Let's get it going.
Look at all the
I
heart
think that
building, showing all this. I don't get this much love when I'm by myself.
me neither. I mean, we do. I mean, we doing some. We activating some things. Let's go.
Wow.
You know. So yes, glad to be here. I definitely feel like we're two people that's definitely been for the people in many ways.
Definitely.
So these things is gonna manifest itself that way.
Yes. So I'm going to save this live because I got some work that I need to do before it gets too late. But I thank you so much for being on here with me tonight. Thank you for your perspective, for your wisdom, for your clarity. The energy was amazing. I'm so happy for everybody who participated in the comments and loved this. You know, we're going to work on some things behind the scenes to make this happen more often because I think these types of conversations need to happen. So yeah, I just want to thank you for being on here with me.
Absolutely, I'm thankful and grateful that you had me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful you're able to see me,
Yeah.
to know and say, okay, let's go. You know, so I appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody in here. The energy has been beautiful. It's
Yeah.
been wonderful, and I thank you for the back and forth that y'all been giving. So yeah, we gonna get some things. We gonna cook some up, or should I say, we gonna prepare a nice salad, right?
Yeah. It's time.
You know?
You already know it's time for you to be in the light now. So that's
Yeah,
I'm
out the shadows.
gonna pull that up out of you. So we here.
Yeah, out the shadows. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much, Empress.
You're
So,
welcome. Well, y'all have a good night. I'm going to save this live, tag people who didn't get to see it, and yeah.
all right.
Um, good night.
All right, blessings.
All right.